What's up, YouTube? Dynamic Stone here, and I have to apologize that for some reason my webcam is not working, and so I can't record with it on right now. But it's not a really big deal with this game. Welcome to Elex, something like that. This game just came out about 2 days ago, and it's a little bit of a blend of Skyrim and Dark Souls and the Technomancer, if you've played those games. It's pretty difficult. I've played some to get a little more familiar with the controls and how to do it. It can be played both keyboard and mouse, and controller. I find controller to be the easiest. But we're going to hop into a new game here on normal and let this play.
Home to a civilization of millions. Until the comet hit. Earthquakes shattered its cities. Firestorms swept the planet. And as Magalan fell into darkness, the survivors faced a world that was unrecognizable. Fighting amongst the ruins of the old world, new factions arose. The Berserkers, the Clerics, the Outlaws, each with their own vision of the future. But it wasn't only the struggle for scarce old world resources that drove them, for the comet had brought something new. Elex, an element unknown to Magalan. It could fuel technology, change the evolution of life, open new abilities to those with the will to control it. For the clerics, it drove new technological innovation. For the outlaws, drugs to free their minds. To berserkers, it gave the power of magic. Seduced by Elix's power, some began to consume it. Addicted, overwhelmed, most degenerated into vicious, mindless mutants. But there were some who could control their addiction. To them, at the cost of their emotions, Elex offered strength, focus, and stamina. These people called themselves the Elves. Seemingly unstoppable, the Elves have waged war on all who would stand between them and their need to obtain Elex. Advancing from the frozen wastes of Zakor and their fortress-sized palace, the Elves threatened the future of all the factions on Magalan. Now, as Elf forces prepare their final assault, Jax, renowned Elf commander, is sent on a solo mission. One Elf, selected to change the fate of Magalan.
So, when this is, you'll see. So the game is new, so I'm gonna have to cut up some slack on animation and things like that. It doesn't have the best facial animations for talking, but you'll see. Yes, just throw away your helmet, because that won't, protect your head from anything. He looks a little goofy. Ouchies. Some dude stealing all our stuff. And we're awake. Miraculously healed. But very dirty. Okay, so now we're in the game. And I say the game is similar to Dark Souls in that if you look at the top left of the screen, you see your health bar and your magic bar and your stamina bar, which is that green bar. And, oh, so that's, okay. That was like a sneak mode. And you have your weapon wheel in the bottom right. Our first weapon is a nice pipe, it looks like. But it's also, similar to Skyrim in that it's a fantasy sort of. There's a bunch of arrows here. Bunch of fantasy stuff, especially in this first area. But it's also like the Technomancer and Fallout to a degree, because it is set in like a post-apocalyptic Earth setting called Magaland. And you'll see here another animation that kind of needs some work. The falling animation, he just kind of goes like T-pose and just kind of falls. And that's, to me, that's not very cool. It's not good. I kind of like the character's voice. It's kind of got this deep, raspy voice. But here we have our little first fight against a sick. Okay, thank you. Mass rat here. So now you see how it flashed. I was out of stamina there. And also, kind of cool, kind of helpful, is you have infinite inventory space. That's the word I'm looking for, inventory space. So this is one of our little robots that, well, he's explaining it. So like it explained in the opening credits, or the opening scene, I guess, not credits, but opening scene, there's 3 factions in the game. There's the Berserkers, who wield magic and sword and shield melee weapons. Normal, like they're the Skyrim faction, I'll call it. They're like the Skyrim faction. Then there's the clerics, who wield advanced technology, rifles and things like that. They'll probably be who I'll be joining. Then there are the outlaws, which is like your Mad Max dudes. Combat is really like, holy crap, I just took a lot of damage from this little thing. Is really unforgiving. You screw up, like, look, I'm taking mad damage from this thing. I'm probably gonna die. Oh crap! Back up. There we go. All right, I need to heal desperately. And you can only pick up items if your weapon is sheathed. You can't pick up stuff when your weapons are out. But yeah, like I was saying, combat in this game is really unforgiving. Just like Dark Souls, you make a single mistake and you saw, like, I took massive amounts of damage, and this is the beginning of the game. You know, this is where it all starts, and I am not doing well. So we just picked up an Adventurer's Amulet, increases armor value +5, locks areas that are open, lockpicking +1. You also have your stat points here: Strength, Constitution, Dexterity, Intelligence, and Cunning. This is your weapons tab: one-handed, two-handed, guns, heavy, magic, and ammo. Armor tab, your item tab, quests, and then your map. So we will continue forward. Yeah, see, like that falling animation. Every time you fall off of something, he does that. That weird, like, rigid falling pose. That definitely could use some work. But, you know, I'm not going to give it too much flack. After all, it did only come out like 2 days ago. Our first ranged weapon, a bow. Get a couple arrows. Like I said, you have infinite inventory space. So I would say literally pick up every single item that you can get your hands on. Because money, Elex, is not the easiest to come by. It's not the easiest currency to obtain, especially early game when you really don't have a way to make a whole lot of money. Ranged combat, hold on, I actually want to check something in the options. So ranged combat is not easy whatsoever. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing easy about ranged combat. I'm going to be trying it out and seeing how it goes. But I'm probably going to die a lot. When I was playing off recording, I got to a point where I was outside of the main town. Oh, lockpicks, sweet. I was outside of the main town, and 5 steps in any direction, I was getting smushed by just about everything. So this is where this is ranged combat. You have to be in this mode, and in order to shoot arrows, you have to be in that sort of zoomed in mode, which I don't really like that. A map piece. I wish you could just shoot arrows from third person, like the way I am right now. That would make our lives so much better. But we just take everything. There's no reason not to. A lot of these, like electronic scrap and metal scrap and stuff like that I pick up. There are crafting systems in the game. You just have to learn the skills. But I haven't gotten to that point, to be honest. I haven't played too far into the game. Maybe an hour and a half, maybe, is the furthest I'd say I've gotten. I haven't really left the starting town. Mostly because you get ganged up on and you get absolutely annihilated if you're not careful. There are companions in the game, but you have to, in order to get them to travel with you, you have to complete their quests. And that is easier said than done, I'm afraid. A lot of, like the first guy, you meet, his quest takes you all over the place.
Follow all instructions from service personnel. Thank you for your visit to the facility.
This is a really long elevator ride. Okay, here we go. Dude. Yep. So you get they call it a jetpack, but it's more accurately a jump pack. So you jump and then hold the jump button, and it will shoot you up into the air. But it does have, like you saw, a limited charge, and we just got our first piece of armor there. We got some worker pants. It does have limited use, and yeah, it can save your life though. I have screwed up and fallen off a lot of stuff in this game because it's super easy to do. The controls are not the tightest that I've experienced, but I've certainly played with worse controls. And if you're playing with keyboard and mouse, I really advise you not to do that. When I was playing, the controls are not very smooth, not very intuitive. Dodging is really difficult because you have to double tap the movement key in order to dodge, and that can be kind of difficult to do when you're fighting. And getting mobbed in this game, if you have more than one enemy focused on you, I've found it's almost just a total death sentence. Like, you are going to die. So here we have our first little interaction. Sneaky with our metal pipe. Poof. We got a pretty weak jaw, man. That just knocked us out.
Come on, get up. If you're gonna make a habit of attacking people without warning, you should get better at it. I heard you before you even left the ruins. Someone tried to kill you.
It's a facial animation. It's alright. It's not bad.
Then I find you keep waiting to finish the job.
Our character's voice, I feel like, doesn't necessarily match what he looks like, but that's okay.
If I wanted you dead, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Trust me, you need to apologize.
I don't apologize for nothing, or prove you're not the thief, and I might trust you.
Prove you're not the thief.
So your conversation choices do matter in this game. Things you say and do, like you say, Durus likes that. Companions will like or dislike things that you have said, and that obviously can influence gameplay later on down the road. But there's a system called cold in the game, where the more cold you have, the more inhuman you are, the less emotion you have. It's more like cold logic. It's kind of, I guess, like your morality meter. The less cold you have, the nicer of a person you are. The more cold you have, the more inhuman, emotionless machine you are. So, there's that. Usually the cold options are the more aggressive, the more logical choices. So we can either say, you can save yourself the effort, there's no one up there, I didn't see any Albs, I didn't see anyone, or ha, you're scared of the Albs. We're gonna lie. Because we are an Alb, and we don't want anyone to know that. Because like you saw in the opening, see, cold increased, I was a jerk, basically, is what that means, because I lied. Whatever. But you saw in the opening cutscene, nobody likes the Albs. So if we, let loose that we're one of the Albs, Duras would probably just murder us here on the spot because, we almost got murdered by some weird featherless, skinless bird thing.
What have you got to lose right now? Nothing from what I can see.
What you say is logical. Sounds like you've been brainwashed. I will come with you, but that doesn't mean I trust you.
That doesn't mean I trust you. Trust is earned. That goes both ways. Better remember that. Every choice you make
Gold increased again.
the way you speak to people will determine your course in life. Just take a look at yourself. No armor, no weapons, no companions. You've not exactly succeeded in life, have you? Well, all that changes today. Whatever you've done before, your life can start again. A new beginning.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip through the rest of this conversation. Essentially, Duras tells you that there's a town nearby called Goliath, and it's run by the Berserker faction, and you can go there. You can go there, and they'll give you quests and armor and stuff like that, and you can begin building rapport with the Berserkers and eventually join them if that's what you want to do. If you want to listen to the whole conversation, then I suggest buying the game for yourself. I'm probably going to skip through a lot of the conversations because they're long, it's a lot of talking, and not a whole lot of it is super important. If it's important, then whatever. But yeah. Get back to Duras because everything will murder you out here. Like, there's a dude over there. I think he's a Reaver, which are like bandits, and he'll just murder your face. There are enemies that have like skulls next to their names and their health bars, and that skull essentially means that enemy is impossible for you to beat. They will just murder you. So here, Duras is like, hey, we gotta be careful. We go through here, we're gonna get attacked by rot boars, which are these mutated, horrible, like, bear creatures. They're horrid. You'll see them here in a minute. And the Berserker's whole goal, from what I have gathered, is that they want to heal Adan, or Magalan. So here, basically, there was a group of clerics that got chased into these ruins back here by rot boars, and then killed by the rot boars. We're going to go ahead and say that. No, it just decreases our colds. I have no interest in factions. We re-increased our cold. We want to just go into the ruins. Yes, we want to go into the ruins because let's go into the ruins. Duras respects you because I chose to go into the ruins. Please note that opening this screen does not pause the game at all. You can open this screen and still get absolutely murdered. We're gonna put, so dexterity increases range damage. You need dexterity. So I'm gonna go for like a ranged build because I'm probably gonna join the clerics. So your main stats for that are gonna be dexterity is the most important, then strength, and intelligence. Oh, not strength. I'm sorry. Intelligence if you're going to be using rifles, like cleric weapons. Strength if you're going to be using bows. After that, it's really kind of up to you and what you want to use. I'm going to do... I'm gonna put Yeah, we're gonna give us some points into Constitution, because Constitution increases your health, and health is always a good thing. So these are the little ruins, and we're probably gonna get attacked by this. There's a critter over here, dead critter. Ready? Those are mass rats. They're just big mutated rats. There's a rot boar. You can see it right there. It's horrific, really. You see how it has that skull? Basically, that means I have zero chance of beating it. If Duras was not with us, we would get absolutely brutalized by that stuff. This is a campsite. This eventually becomes like our base camp. These are teleporters. So run over those. You can quick travel. We're gonna equip our axe here. Dead cleric. I don't like how coming into buildings. I get that they're trying to mimic like the sun, is bright outside, and when you come in, it's dark, and your eyes have to adjust. I get that. That makes sense, but it's a little dramatic because you come into a building and it is completely like pitch black dark. Oh snap! A rock board. Two rot boars. We should. Oh goodness. All right. Oh, that's not a rot boar. I'm sorry. That is a spine hound. So we're gonna let him fight that, and we're gonna turn the camera. Come on, camera. We're just gonna let. Oh, and then a runt critter show up. Wow. It is a really good thing that Duras is extremely strong. Did I already collect? I guess I already collected the stuff from the cleric. Here's a little chest. Go ahead and open this. So I don't know if loot is randomized or not. Because I have not collected lockpicks in some sort of machine shop, blah, 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 blah. I've not collected lockpicks in that area before. That's the first time I've either noticed them or turn that off, it's kind of annoying. Anything like that. Cotton of cigarettes, 200 cigarettes. Cleric prayer book. So the clerics believe in a machine god named Callum. The berserkers don't believe, they're atheists, they don't believe in any god. That was kind of weird. Like I said, some of the animations need a little help. Whew. Oh, stop that. It can be really easy to screw up and go flying. We might just be able to fly up here. Oh, come on. That's not good. We're going to take fall damage. Oh, no, we didn't. That's impressive. Yep. See, like, that was kind of crap. I don't really know why that happened. We didn't grab on. But we're going to give the old jetpack a second try here. There we go. Sweet. A locked chest. And we don't have high enough lockpicking skill. Requires a lockpicking skill of 2. We have a lockpicking skill of 1. A pack of cigarettes. So cigarettes are like a luxury item that you can sell. You can't smoke them. But you can, however, sell them for 1 Elexit, a pop, which is not bad. It's not horrible, because we have like 220 some odd cigarettes, so we can sell those and get a nice tidy sum of Elex. So we're gonna jump down here. You do take nasty fall damage, so be wary of that. Here, I found these. Basically, we tell him, hey, we found this cleric stuff. He tells you technology is forbidden for use to the berserkers. Can't use technology, which is super lame.
The raider crashed a week ago. It's been quiet since then. Well, apart from the scouting party on the edge of forest.
So basically, now he's talking about, hey, you crashed, and it's been like a week, basically, since you crashed. And the Albs are not necessarily, I don't think they're looking for you, because they think you're dead, and that's a good thing. Kill them, please, thank you. The Albs are not your friends. So this is kind of annoying. There we go. Yeah, the Albs are not your friends. They want you dead for some reason that I don't know. Also, something to keep in mind with companions is, much like Skyrim, your companions are not invincible. They can be killed. It's not likely this early on, because your companion is far stronger than you are. And I died here several times because there's a bunch of these mass rats around here, and I got attacked by like 4 mass rats all at once, and Duras just kind of stood there and watched. The AI is not the smartest AI in the gaming world. He stood there and watched me get turned into paste. So it's because he's not currently my companion. This is more like an escort quest. His AI pathing has him on a set path, and he's not going to deviate from that path whatsoever, even to come back and save your sorry hide. He's not going to do it. Essentially, now he's like, hey, welcome to Goliath. There are these separatists from the Albs. You should go talk to them. You should talk around town, get some money, and figure out what's going on. But this is a good stopping point, because once we get into Goliath, there's a bunch of stuff, and I've already been going on for a little bit over 30 minutes. So this is your first brief look at Elex, and we'll continue forward from here, and hopefully this series gets a little more love. I appreciate you guys watching, and stay tuned for the next one. See ya!